show. We've got, chat, get your player of the season vote in. I'm surprised it's not 8 Liverpool players. But putting Salah aside, because we know Salah's going to win it, who for you out of them, or is the player that you've been surprised at? How is Declan... Oh, you've got me going on Arsenal again here, chat. How is Declan Rice in this nomination, by the way, chat? Can someone enlighten me? Can we all enlighten each other? How? Why is McIndoe ahead of Rice? Liverpool should have had all 3 midfielders because we've absolutely battered everyone in the league. Dom, Gravenberch and Maka should have been in there. But Morgan Gibbs-White, phenomenal season. He should be there. Gravenberch, 100% should be there. Especially playing in a position he's played 6. Yeah. Isaac, absolute joke of a footballer, should be there. And Brian Mbeumo, telling you now, chat, if Liverpool are in the market for a forward, and I'm pretty sure he ticks quite a lot of boxes on the data lads department for Liverpool. Don't be surprised if he turns up at Liverpool in the next 2 years. Post Salah either. What is he now? 24, 25 Mbeumo? But yeah. I'm hoping he doesn't move to like a club like Man United or Chelsea. Brian Mbeumo. Don't do it to yourself, lads. Declan Rice. Joke. Salah, of course, Van Dijk and Chris Wood. Is the players that you've been surprised that aren't in that selection? I.e., not for Rice, but yeah. It just goes to show the quality from Brian Mbeumo, the amount of goals, amount of assists he's contributed. Him and Wissa, really. I tell you, and that's one club that do very well with their data department as well. Obviously, Brighton speaks for itself, but the great recruitments that Brentford do, second to none really in terms of their analysis and everything. And that's what's so refreshing when you see, especially Brentford, the fact that they hadn't been in the league, was it like 70 odd years? They hadn't been in the league, but they're a consistent top 10 team now. Brentford, they're only a couple of signings away from me personally seeing them getting into your possible Europa League spot or a Europa League conference spot. You just need, obviously, maybe 1 or 2, or I'd say maybe 3 or 4 key additions to their starting 11. I think they'll be sound anyway. But yeah, Salah gets the vote. But if you have to pick a non-Liverpool, if you have to pick a non-Liverpool player out of that selection, who would you pick? For me personally, it's got to be... It's between, for me personally, if you have to pick a non-Liverpool, but putting our lads aside, because we know one of our lads is going to win it, i.e. Salah. Between Isaac and Mbeumo, me personally, if you have to pick a non-Liverpool player. But yeah, if it wasn't picking any Liverpool players and none of our lads were in that vote, yeah, go with Isaac. Yeah, Isaac and Mbeumo. But yeah, hopefully Mbeumo gets a big move. It's expected he'll go in the next 12 months anyway. I think Wiss has already been on record anyway. But Mbeumo, if you're going to a top club, do not go to Manchester United, please, lads. Don't do it to yourself. Go to a Newcastle or a club in Champions League football, even an Aston Villa as well. They'll do the world of good. I'd love him at Liverpool, but I don't think we'll get him. But I'd be very surprised if we got him anyway. Certainly a great addition. But yeah, Isaac running up to Salah, me personally, as well, Reds. But as Anne said, he'd possibly go with Wood. Yeah, he's had a very good season. I just find it mad anyway, chat. And that goes to show, obviously the big target man in modern day football as well. Yeah, he's had a tremendous season, tell you. Absolutely refreshing. I think when we seen the transfer of him going from, where did he sign from? Was it Newcastle? I think it was, wasn't it? He signed from Newcastle. And we were all going, what? But yeah, even shout out to Elliot Anderson. He's had a very good season as well. So yeah, be interesting. We're all hoping. Sorry, any City fans in the comments. But if City can miss out on Champions League football, we will be there. I'd love it. I'd love it if we beat them, as Keegan said. What an interview. But yeah, I'd love it if Forest or Villa and beat Manchester City to a Champions League spot anyway. That would be very good. So yeah, But yeah, Ivan Toney, top player, man. Um, yeah, and that's one signing that Arsenal should have got, really, mate, isn't it? Like, they should have got Ivan Toney before he moved to Saudi. But Toney, living his best life, go and get that money, lad. Don't blame him anyway. And he's doing quite well in the Saudi Pro League, I think he is. Looks like Mitrovic might be coming back to the Premier League, I think. I think he might come back to Fulham, if I'm being honest. Because I think I've seen reports over the last couple of weeks of him potentially going. So, chat, we know who's going to win it, but I was interested to see who you possibly would vote for in regards to non-Liverpool players. As Bear said, Gravenberch was a big surprise. He has been, mate. I think all of us, not for me, because I did watch quite a fair bit of Ajax at his time when he was over there, and then even, obviously, his little spells of he just wasn't getting an opportunity at Bayern Munich, and it just goes to show, like, the exact model Liverpool go for. Like, they look in the market and they go, right, what value can we get for 30, 50 odd million? Like, they look the data, lads, but even you didn't have to be a data expert or whatnot. Everyone knew Ryan Gravenberch's quality. Everyone's going, oh, it didn't work out in Bayern Munich. Doesn't matter. He just wasn't given an opportunity at Bayern Munich. And that's where a lot of players you'll find in European football, and this when we all analyse, if you ever analysing players, don't always write them off. Just because they haven't worked in the Premier League doesn't mean that they won't work. Say if they go to a Bundesliga or they go to another team and it hasn't worked, and they've been really good prior to their move. Just certain players, if they're not properly scouted by certain clubs and they go, right, just going to sign this player and then I throw him into a system and it doesn't work out, then yeah. But yeah, being a breath of fresh air. And the fact that was it his interview he did this month, can't think it was for Sky or one of the sports channels anyway, go and check it out. And even he said he's not an arrogant player. He knows he has to do a job, Gravenberch, and he doesn't whinge about it. He says he'd like to play a number 8 role, but he understands the manager and the role he needs to facilitate in this squad. And he's like, sounds, I'll play it, but I'm not going to whinge. But tell you, and that's how good Arne Slot's management is of Ryan Gravenberch, that Arne Slot has properly coached him. Like, not having digs at Klopp, but, you know, Klopp and certain players in certain moments didn't know how to get the best out of us. Not all the players, obviously, Bobby, Salah and Mane speaks for themselves, but it's like, i.e. Gravenberch at his time at Liverpool, it's night and day, really, when you analyse Gravenberch under Slot and under Jurgen Klopp as well, for me. And Maka, Argentinian maestro, yeah, he's give Maka a new contract, by the way, chat. I'm hoping we're boxing off Ibu next, and then the next player that deserves to get a massive increase is McAllister. He's going to be the next future captain of Liverpool, chat. Post Salah and Van Dijk here at Liverpool when they retire. It's going to be Maka all day, every day of the week. Happy days there, but through 56 years, happy days there, mate. You would have seen the ups and the downs as well, mate, and that's what we say, Reds. Even in our good moments, but we get behind the lads even in our difficult moments as well. And we're all a sensible bunch. And like that, I grew up in an era of Brendan Rodgers. Obviously, I don't quite fully took in. Obviously, he was a very younger Red in the Houllier days, and would have been about 5 or 6 in the early 2000s anyway. But it's better when you grow up in it, Reds, in terms of when you appreciate everything a bit more. That's not taking anything away from the younger fans out there as well. But as you grow older, when you're learning a lot more about football as well. But I'm just made up that, like, we're all watching the great 12 months, and it will be a very dominating period over hopefully for the next 10 odd years for Liverpool. Because, yeah, we're going places here, Chas. Next season, we'll be back again. I'm telling you now, City won't be back straight away. I think what did we see Haaland get his penalty taken away from him today? Haaland got his penalty taken away from him, which I don't understand why. As we said 2 nights ago, Haaland won't be at City in 2 years' time. I'm telling you that now. He won't be at City. And I don't think Pep will be either.